What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the brand new 7-star raid for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. So the current 7-star raid event is for Decidueye, and it ends on March 19th. However, if you miss it this weekend, you can catch it from March 24th to March 26th as well. Now, Decidueye looks pretty phenomenal. It has the mightiest mark, but this is a pretty interesting Pokemon as it's going to be a flying Tera, and we can see the full information of this Pokemon right here. So it has its hidden ability, which is Long Reach, which does not really matter. The moves it has is Spirit Shackle, which is the signature ghost type move, Brave Bird, which is going to be boosted by the Tera Flying, Low Kick, which is going to be devastating to those rock and ice type Pokemon, and Leaf Blade, which is going to be stab and have a high crit rate. Now it has two support moves, Feather Dance, which lowers her physical attack by -2, and Swords Dance, which increases its physical attack by +2. And it also has Air Cutter, and Air Cutter is a special flying type move. Now, this Decidueye, I'm going to say, after streaming it for about 4 hours with the community, is a very easy raid. You can definitely try to do this as a solo too, or you can do it with a bunch of people, or do it in the community, and you can beat this thing in like 3 turns, no problem at all. Now, there are some good drops from this. So of course, whenever you defeat one of these, you will get at least one ability patch. You will also get TM 164. You will also get some flying Tera shards. But what's really cool about this is you do get proteins and calciums. Protein increases the attack stat, calcium increases special attack stat, and you get a lot of candies. And looking at this, you have a 1% chance of getting ability patches. I did a bunch of raids and I ended up with like 5 of them dropping. So I'm pretty lucky with this raid so far. Now, I'm going to say this is probably going to be one of the best raids to farm because we got some hardcore counters that can defeat this Decidueye. Now, the first Pokemon I'm going to recommend that you build is going to be Miraidon with an Electric Tera and a Magnet. A Magnet is very important, or you can run Expert Belt. They will do the exact same thing, but the damage boost is necessary. You want to kill this thing in 3 turns with a couple of supporters who can drop this with death. Now, the move set for Miraidon, you're gonna have to have Electro Drift. That is gonna be so important. I actually recommend probably using a PP Max to get this to 8 out of 8 instead of 5 out of 5. Calm Mind is gonna be great. That's gonna give you a +1 special attack boost. And Charge is actually great because Charge will double the damage of your next electric type move. It doesn't have to be done next turn. It also does not get wiped from the raid boss. So when the raid boss on like turn 1, it removes all your stat buffs, Charge does not get wiped away. So you will still be sitting on your next electric type move doing 100% bonus damage. Now, this last slot is going to be up to you. Parabolic Charge is going to be the move you want if you're going to be soloing this thing 100%. Now, I'll say this. If you're playing online and you have Parabolic Charge and no Metal Sound, but you have no Belly Bolts or no other Miraidons who are hitting Metal Sound or Acid Spray, then, you know, you're going to want to have Metal Sound because you want to get that Decidueye to -6. So I will say that this last slot is definitely up in the air for your Miraidon build. It really depends. If you're playing with a bunch of friends, you're good to go. You know exactly what to do. If you're playing with randoms, then yeah, it's gonna be up to you. Like I said, Parabolic Charge, you won't die. You can just spam it the entire time. You'll do big damage. You'll get HP back. You're fine. But you want to kill on turn 3, and you're not sure if you have the setup right, and you may want to have Metal Sound. But I'm gonna lean toward Parabolic Charge right here. Now, for the stat, max HP, max special attack, modest nature, you're going to be super bulky. The scariest move is going to hit you with, it's honestly going to be Low Kick. And honestly, if it crits, you won't die. So you're fine. You're going to resist the flying moves. You're going to resist the grass moves. Miraidon is an absolute monster. And our next Pokemon is going to be Bellybolt. And Bellybolt is going to be the best supporter. This Pokemon also has the ability to solo this raid too if you're interested in that. But for the case of this video, we're going to more focus on the online supporting role because this thing is an absolute beast. Now, I'm going to say the item should be Shell Bell because if you are doing the online supporting role, it actually does not matter what item it should be. So Shell Bell is just going to give you that extra sustain. And if you're doing the solo build, then you definitely want to have Shell Bell for sure. and of course, Electric Tera. So for this guy, we're going max HP, max special attack. It doesn't really matter too much. If you want to go purely defensive, you could go max HP, max defense, but you can utilize the same belly bolt for both solo rating and for multiplayer. So this is going to be the better general EV spread with the modest nature plus special attack minus attack, max HP, max special attack. Now, the most important move on this Pokemon's moveset is going to be Acid Spray. Acid Spray works through shields, lowers their SPDF by 2 stages, and it does damage. Phenomenal move. You're always going to want to get the Decidueye to -6 and then start popping off on it. Parabolic Charge, to note this is an egg move, is a phenomenal move for Belly Bolt, as this will regain HP back for you. This is a super good move. It's absolutely phenomenal. This is your general sustain move. Chilling Water is a absolute great move because the Decidueye will use Swords Dance to boost his attack stat, so you can start mitigating its attack stat by using Chilling Water. It works through shields, it'll drop attack by 1, and it does a decent amount of damage, especially with some Acid Spray on it. It will hit for a good amount of damage too. Now, Reflect is very important for the 3-turn kill strategy we're going to be showcasing. You want to turn 1 Reflect with one of the Belly Bolts, because this is going to pretty much guarantee no one dies. If someone does happen to die, then you're going to get this frozen interaction where the Decidueye is just going to set up a Tera Shield too early and you can't kill it right on turn 3. So this is why one of the Belly Bolts will use Reflect, and then the rest of the time you're just going to be hitting Acid Spray. You don't even need to do an attack cheer, any other cheer. You're good to go. All you got to really do for that strat, like I said, 1 Reflect, and make sure Acid Spray hits enough times, 3 times in total, where the Pokemon is going to be at -6. So that's all the 2 builds you need. These are literally the only 2 Pokemon that you need to make, which is awesome. Such a easy and simple raid. Now, if you wanted to solo a Belly Bolt, I would use this moveset. I would be using Acid Spray, Parabolic Charge, Discharge, and Charge. The reason why we're going to be using Charge and Discharge is because, 1, Charge, once again, doubles your next electric attack damage, which is great. And it gives you SPDF boost, doesn't really matter, but you know, it is nice against those air cutters. And Discharge is going to be your big damaging move. Discharge is 80 damage, but has a 30% chance to paralyze, which is pretty big. And the fact that we're holding a Shell Bell means that you're going to be getting HP back from those discharges too. So you're going to be able to do big damage, and it's going to be great overall. So if you want to solo Belly Bolt, this is probably the move set I would recommend. And the same stat spread, you definitely want to have the Electric Tera. You want to be max special attack, max HP, modest nature with Shell Bell. Now, we have a great 3-turn strategy to defeat the Decidueye, and you can do this with pretty much 1 Miraidon and 2 Belly Bolts. It doesn't really matter what the last Pokemon is. If you have 3 Belly Bolts, it makes it even easier, you know, but you sort of don't even need it. You could potentially do this with 1 Miraidon and 1 Belly Bolt as well too. Even if it's not a 3-turn kill, it's still gonna work out really well, because let's be real, the Decidueye is pretty easy. But this is a guarantee to always work on 3 turns if you have at least 2 Belly Bolts, 1 Miraidon. So turn 1, 1 Belly Bolt is gonna Reflect, and then 1 Belly Bolt is gonna Acid Spray. And then if you're gonna be a Miraidon in turn 1, you always charge. Always charge. And then after that, it's super easy, because the Decidueye will remove stat buffs, but no one got a stat buff. No one did anything. And the charge buff will stay because it's not a stat buff. So you're still good. You still carry that double electric damage happening. Turn 2, the Belly Bolts, both Acid Spray. Now the Decidueye is at -6 special defense. And then the Miraidons are Calm Minding. So now the Miraidon is at +1 special attack. Its next electric move is going to do 100% boosted damage. Electric Terrain. Electro Drift does even more damage when it's super effective. It is stab and super effective already on top of that. And, you know, you have the Magnet item on, which further multiplies the damage. And then on turn 3, you just hit Electro Drift. I'm going to be real, the Belly Bolts do not matter on turn 3. They can cheer. They don't have to do anything, honestly. They can just not hit any buttons, because that's it. They don't even do an attack cheer, a defense cheer, an HP cheer. It's fine. They don't have to hit anything. It's great. And like I said, you only need 1 Miraidon. The reason why we have 2 Miraidons doing it in this example is like, hey, what if 1 lags? Then the other one's going to guarantee get it for you. It's super easy. Just make sure you're level 100. You have the max stats, the modest nature, and you're good to go. And this is going to be super easy. And let's showcase my most recent attempt on stream with this, because this is super quick. It's sort of crazy. We're going to be showcasing the Bellyable Miraidon turn 3 kill. As long as your game does not freeze, you'll be able to get this, and you can farm all the proteins, calciums, flying Tera shards to your heart's content here. So I'm playing as the Miraidon player, and turn 1 is charged. The reason why we charge is because it does not get removed when Decidueye removes any buffs that it does, like on pretty much on its first turn. Then we're going to use Calm Mind and then Electro Drift, and as long as it's -6, we will be killing it. Now, one Belly Bolt player will have to use Reflect on turn 1. That's very important for general survivability, protection for the entire team. It's pretty nice. The other Belly Bolts are just going to hit Acid Spray on turn 1, and then everyone can hit Acid Spray on turn 2. If you have 2, then everyone needs to hit Acid Spray on turn 2. If you have 3, then someone could potentially go for an Attack Cheer or a Chilling Water. And then on turn 3, if you have 2 Belly Bolts, definitely one of them go for an Attack Cheer. You don't need the Attack Cheer. It doesn't actually matter, but it just makes me feel better at night because we are using the Magnet item, which will further boost our damage. So we got that, and now we're going for Calm Mind. And now I'm going to go for Electro Drift, and we're just going to win. And it's going to be super easy peasy. It really does not matter what the Belly Bolt does on turn 3. I'm going to be completely honest with you on here. And this is going to be a one-hit KO. And there you have it, guys. That is how you one-shot Decidueye in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This is probably the most consistent strat that I have personally found for this raid series. And Belly Bolt is very easy to get, and half the population has a Miraidon. And like I said, you only need one Miraidon, and then the rest can be Belly Bolt. So get your Violet friends to use it. And look at all these items we're getting. So feel free to farm this all weekend. It will be coming back in about probably like 2 weeks as well. But the fact that it drops both proteins and calciums is really great to make your Pokemon awesome for raid battles and for VGC content. And there we have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching PanFro Games. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you guys next time.